Hello and welcome. Today is Sunday, the 4th day of June 2017. I was going to say September, actually, but that's probably because of September-style weather in the southern Ontario, Canada region today. All right, let's get started looking at the price of Bitcoin and just a few different key things, trendline analysis. So far, this is the lower rate of ascent over June 2nd through current compared to the May 31st, June 1st rally. But the bull market, of course, retains. Now, as far as, let's put this back in. See, what I do is I'll paste the images and then fit it to the right size. Okay. What I'm going to go over now is how many times did it come back to where it came from? Well, it came from here, but maybe it did come a little higher. But this bottom here was not at this resistance. This bottom was at this one. This bottom, don't really count that. This was a big area, hit here. This area here, hit again. Therefore, breaking this resistance and coming back, well, if it comes back to where it came from, we're talking 2,550 to about 2,575. And that's just one of the things to look over. When you're looking for areas where it may go up or down to, oftentimes markets will come back to where it was. And as far as the trend is considered, this thing has been holding well amongst the key 23 change Fibonacci mark, which we'll show on a more extended chart now. I'm looking at this on the 6-hour time frame spanning the last month, and we bring up some Fibonacci levels from the 2750 high, something I was putting a little higher before. Don't know why I was reading 2850 before, but 2750 high and a low near or in at 1850. Upside target of about 3500 if it or when it breaks the previous high of 27 and change. But then we got 2152, 2364. And 2152 in here was resisted and then comes back to support, and then again in here. At first, I thought Fibonacci was 24, saying, man, this is just a rare miss and failure but no, it was me failing the calculation. But this area of resistance finds support, and it's been just continuing the uptrend. So that's what I expect when I see it roughly around in here, that, okay, it's holding, staying well above the key Fibonacci previous resistance point, continuing with an uptrend, and it's been, again, a decent amount of time, multiple periods. Of course, it's now going to go up to this high, and it's been doing so, so why would I not think it's going to not continue to go up there? And then, of course, a move up there. Oh, and now what situation, as I call it, because I'm expecting a level of resistance. Not terribly strong level, but one that might go up to 27 and change, and then maybe come back to that key Fibonacci point of around 2350. Or maybe it just does. I gave out 4 scenarios before. Maybe when it comes up here, maybe it just goes sideways. And well, I made 2 scenarios going lower. And then one scenario is if you come up to this point and there's no resistance at 2750 and it just keeps going higher, then now you're starting to talk about majorly aggressive hog wild style moves. So you see 2850 and it's holding, staying above there. It's like, okay, what's going on? Next thing you know, 3 hours later, you're breaking 3000. That's the type of situations that can occur on a spot when it breaks over a key resistance field. Continuing on, we are looking at Verge XVG. One of my 5 giveaways that I did a couple of weeks back, I did amongst this one. I've only bought this ever twice. I bought it at around 5 Satoshis back somewhere in here. And then 40. in somewhere in here I bought. And it's doing well. So thankfully, the market is going higher. I really can't tell you where to sell other than probably sell a little bit now. But markets oftentimes, not always, come back to where they came from. This level here, not really. However, roughly here around 75. If you're looking for any type of retracement to get in, when you see something way high, you're like, okay, I want to wait for something to pull back. Where do I pull back to? Well, in the spot here, 75. And we'll finish it off with an XtraBytes XBY. Looking on the C/CEX exchange. And my talking about the 1500 where I make a fast number to 1000 psychological. Yeah, but come on, 1500 is a real number. And sure enough, another good call. Okay, so be it. And those whom unloaded at 750, well, it was pretty hard to buy back. In fact, it was almost impossible to buy back anywhere near for a good discount. Selling here could have meant buying back here. So this time, yeah. Now, from this point, it comes back up, retests this level again to make a higher low. Another retest, but a lower high. So that's indecision. That's normal within these correctionary phases. So you can almost go like trend line like that, trend line like that. So be it. But what's important to note is the order book situation. There isn't that much. It's a very thin book. There's not much available to sell at these current prices of around 1,400. In fact, it only takes 2.5 Bitcoin to take it to my highest buy order right now, which is 1102. And somebody is going very large. So it's good to see these order books. I can see here someone's got a good order in at this point. So strategically speaking, I'm going to go one basis point, one Satoshi higher than that number. So I'm going to buy in at 1051 as well. That's the strategies that I'm looking for because these markets have done this a lot. I mean, before in the last run that it had, when it had a high of around 726, 750 on another exchange, it pulls down to about 500, makes the lower high, and then matches this low, and then finds these majorly lower levels, going from 750 down to 250. That's a 3x loss. 750 divided by 3 is 250. And then you have this 81 low in here, which coincided with a top that I was pretty sure was 250, although it says here it was lower. And yeah, because this is the 250 high, which pulled back down to about 80. Again, a 3x move from here to here, a 3x move from here to here. That with this top at 1725, if we take the trusty calculator, and I know this is around 600, a little under it, 575, then that's what 3 times loss would be. But the key areas, we've already tested 1,000 once, that could be tested again. And then 750 down to the 550 range as the second key support level that it may have. Now, just because it's went down 3x before, doesn't mean it's going to do that all the time. In fact, if it always does the same things pretty much all the time, then it becomes really, really easy. But it's also worth noting on a technical level that because it's had this good correctionary phase, that if this thing gets going out above this number, you see it a decent break above. We have 1725 in here. If it can hit the 2000 number, stay and hold above around high 1750 area, or above, if it can hold and stay above 1750 for more than a half a day, then this thing will be looking ready to make its next move. But because you go from point A, which is low, to point B, which is high, and then back to a higher low or the next point below that, that's where we are, higher high. Where is the next low going to be? Is it going to be this one here? Maybe. But we very easily could have another match of it, or even, as I state, a move to 500 to 750 in these roller coaster extreme moves can happen. After all, if you're going to have gains of like 6x and 10x and 15x kind of to happen, you got to have 2, 3, 4x down moves as well. So thank you for tuning in and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.